Hey there, gang. Patrick King coming to you live here from Dressage, West Virginia, teaching this weekend a clinic with the Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue. Tonight's question is coming to us from Linda. Linda asks, with a fairly broke horse, how would you explain to someone what an optimal soft connection or contact through the reins should look and feel like? Especially in trying to teach them movements, teach them new movements, or perform basic lateral exercises. I've encountered people whose interpretation of a soft contact is holding the reins with slack fingers as if the reins were an overboiled noodle attached to the bit that might break if you put any tension on it at all. How should one hold the reins, and why is it important? And how would you explain good tension versus bad tension? And I find this to be a very interesting question, so thank you, Linda, for asking this. Now, when I talk about contact, I love the way that Linda framed this question with the holding the overboiled noodle that might break if you put any tension on it at all. That, to me, is not contact. It's not any kind of a meaningful contact with our horse. So I have a tendency to think about contact kind of like dancing. I think of it like ballroom dancing. Our foundation work, I usually say, is like line dancing. I move my feet, you move your feet, we can all be on the floor together and nobody's really bumping into each other unless somebody forgets a step. That's kind of like our foundation horsemanship. But when we're talking about refined riding and we're starting to talk about a connection with the bridle, then I have the tendency to think more along the lines of ballroom dancing. So a soft connection, a soft contact would be something like a waltz. That might be our typical working gaits, the contact like a waltz. You move with your partner in contact with a connection pretty much at all times, but it's never a pushing or a pulling, okay, from either one of the partners. That's how the working gaits with our horse should feel with a soft, steady contact. If I'm waltzing with you and I break contact, now we're not really waltzing anymore. We're each doing some sort of ugly version of a two-step by ourselves, right? So contact is going to be something that's steady and a little bit more intimate. So this idea of holding the reins with open fingers, delicate, like some sort of, like Linda described it, overboiled noodle that might snap if there's tension on it, that's not contact. That's too tentative for the horse. They're not going to develop any confidence through that because we're just not offering it to them. So as I said, to me, the contact with the reins, maybe in our working gaits, we might be thinking about something like the waltz contact in that working gaits. When we're talking about something like medium gaits, lengthened gaits, extended gaits, that might be something more like, I don't know, foxtrot. It's a little bit of a stronger contact, maybe a little bit more intimate than the waltz, but it's still never pushing or pulling of our partner at any point. And then when we start talking about collection, our collected gaits or our collected movements, well, in the realm of ballroom dancing, that's more the tango, right? That's a much more intimate contact, much stronger and more together, and the partners can typically do more with and because of each other than they could by themselves, but that's still never at any point pushing or pulling of our partner. So when I start talking about contact with riders and we start talking about this connection and the feel of connection with our horse, of course all of our aids are involved in this process, but with all of those aids, the bridle and the reins included, I tend to think of it in the contact like we think of ballroom dancing, because essentially the horse is your dance partner when we're talking about the contact. So hopefully that was helpful to you, Linda, for posing the question, and to anybody else who might be logged in and watching or watching this after the live broadcast, whether through YouTube or through Facebook or any other source that you might find that. So if you found this helpful or if you found it insightful, please feel free, tag some friends in the comments below, share it to your page or to groups or other pages. It'd be great to hear your feedback on that. If you have any questions, please feel free, send us emails, send us private messages, Post your questions in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. Your daily questions fuel the daily videos that we keep posting here for you. So, question of the day. We're talking about contact. When you pick up and ask your horse for a contact, what kind of dance does that feel like? I have a feeling we're going to get some interesting answers. Post your answers to that question in the comment section below. This might be a little bit of fun. Tell me what it feels like, what dance it feels like when you pick up a contact on your horse while you're riding. Don't forget, gang, you keep asking questions, I'll keep giving answers. Thanks so much.